All right, let's go ahead and get this thing started. The levels is good. The levels is good. Water boy. MyT. Podcast. Night. And welcome back to another edition of the MyT Sports Podcast. I'm your host and one and only talent, El Idolo Deportivo Taylor. It is another Enfuego day in the hottest city in the world, coming at you live and direct from South Florida. We live at the studio in West Palm Beach. Come holler at your boy. It is officially December 8th. I forgot what they said the highs were and the lows were going to be, but current temperature right now as we speak is 71 degrees. Boy, it's another good day on the podcast. I know you guys missed me on Wednesday, but when I say it's another good day on the podcast, if you're listening live, I appreciate you here with me this late at night. I don't know what you doing with me here this late at night on a Friday night, but yo, you must be at that stage in life that I'm in. I'd rather, save money and make money than spend money all the goddamn time. But yo, we out here today. If you guys don't know how this podcast go, we're going to go hot, we're going to go heavy, we're going to go fast. Pause all you like, but it's how we're going to come at you. We keep some kind of game on in the background, so you're gonna get a lot of live distractions and a lot of live reactions. Beginning of every single show, we like to run it down with a whole lot of birthday shout outs. So what we do is that we give a little birthday shout out to everybody that had a birthday since the last time that we was on the air. So get your peoples ready, get them tagged in here, get your joints ready, get your blunts ready, get your shots ready, get your beer ready. You understand? It's going to go fast. And we do this right at the beginning of the show. We celebrate the birthdays for the 5th, for the 6th, for the 7th, and for today, the 8th. Next time you see us on air, we're going to be live at Sharky's. So you make sure you come down on Monday and you enjoy the podcast live. We got music before the podcast. Then we got the podcast. We do trivia in the middle of the podcast. Then we got the podcast. Then we got music after the podcast. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot on Mondays. But today's Friday. Oh, it's Friday night. And the podcast is jumping. It's Friday night. And the podcast is jumping. It's going to be a real calm show. I already got my drink. It's all juice. This is all sugar. Ladies, this is all sugars. This is all sugars right now. Speaking of sugars. Nah, I'm joking. Yeah, man. We have the behind the scenes cam on Instagram rolling up. So if you want to call into the podcast, that's one way to call in. If you're listening through the Podbean app, you can always call it through the Podbean app. That is our preferred method to get callings to the show. Oh, you happen to know my phone number? You can call me you can call me directly on the line. That comes a little bit choppy, but you know how it is, right? You know what's funny? I just realized I can't see anybody popping up on Instagram today. I got my phone folded, so I can't see as you people pop in here. You know that shit is full. It's looking like this. I ain't got the stand today. So how you guys doing? I see you popping in and out of there, but I just can't see who the fuck you is right now. Like I said, we got a really big show, really big show for you guys today, right? We got LeBron ruining everything. We're going to get into that. We got a Blue Chew promo code that we want to give away to you guys so you guys can get some free Blue Chew. If you don't know what Blue Chew is, stay tuned. I'll explain it to you all. We got Zach Wilson is a traitor, right? Apparently Adam Silver speaks on the Oklahoma City rapist. We got the birthday shout outs coming up at the top of the podcast. We already told you how that goes. You don't want to miss that, right? I may even today get into players that I dislike. I know you want to like, damn, T, how many players do you not like? I think I'm up to like 8 just in the NBA alone. I could be shortchanging it. Right? Yankees, they sign a big bat. We gonna get into the big bats in Yankee Town, right? We got TGIF. Did I say that all right? Thank God it's Friday. Oh boy, thank God it's Friday. Like I paused my game just to be. Y'all see that shit? I paused. The chair was unstable. Like it shook a little, and I just had to roll with it. All right, but what the fuck do we got? All right, we got our football picks coming up too on the show as well. So we have those picks coming up. It's been a while. We've bailed out on a couple of Fridays, and it's been a while. Like I can't lie to you, right? This is Volume 9, Episode 19, Track 566, and I'm actually was really surprised that this is only track. Oh, you funny. You got jokes, right? That this is only track number 19 of the season. I ain't gonna lie, because you know what's been happening. You guys haven't had me fully, right? We're talking about fully erect for a whole week with the podcast. Nah, so you've been getting me on Monday and a Wednesday, and I've had a dodge out on a Friday. This week you got me on Monday and Friday. I just ended up working late on the Wednesday. Like, so it's been a little back and forth, but you guys got me now. And this game in the background is a heater right now. We got the Golden State Thunder taking Golden State. We got the Golden State Warriors taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. I just realized something. This game is going into overtime. It's just tied 118 to 118. And I didn't get a chance to hear any of this game. But I can say from what I've heard, what I've been hearing so far, from not just Oklahoma City, but slowly from around the league. It's starting to pick up a little bit of steam now. I'm actually a little pleased. I'm actually kind of happy. Because one of the players that I currently do not like plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder. But we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that right now. We have a whole lot to talk about and more coming up right here on the MyT Sports Podcast. So you know what we say here on the show. Regardless of the time and regardless of the weather,
that's when it just clicked in my mind that if you just run through somebody's face, a lot of people ain't going to be able to take that over and 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 over again. They're just not going to want that.
It's always a blast on the MyT Sports Podcast. So, yeah, I was clearing that shit. Let's start talking. Woo! That wasn't even on my Ric Flair. We're back at it like a sports fanatic. MyT Sports. We gotta clear the chamber on this one real quick. Sorry for all the loud noises. Man, listen, guys, I missed you. I can't lie. I missed you. I'm going through a rough. I can't lie. I'm going through a rough patch. Mentally, spiritually, motivationally wise, sexually. I'm going through a rough patch. All of it. Right. And right now, the only constant thing that I can say I have right now in my life happens to be this podcast. And right now, I am treating you inconsistently. My bad. But regardless if we're consistent or not, we always consistently have start off the podcast with the same exact way. And that is with a little birthday celebration. I started warning you guys. What that means is that we get a little birthday shout out to every single body that had a birthday since the last time that we was on air. Last time we was on air, I just told you it was on Monday. So we covering birthdays for Tuesday the 5th, Wednesday the 6th, Thursday the 7th, and today, Friday the 8th. And I can't lie to you. Because when I'm not doing the podcast, I tend to completely tap out and just go blank. We missed some big birthdays. Personally, to actually be like, "Hey yo, happy birthday, my dude. Yo, hey yo, happy birthday." Like normally, I would have even put it on the chat. Like I would have normally even put it in the chat that, "Hey yo, it was Mark's birthday today," or this or so and so missed it. I know what you do. I know what you said. I'm already giving away birthday wishes. I'm birthday secret. So without any further ado, hey yo, DJ MyT, go ahead and drop that beat for me. I likes that. You likes that? I likes that. You likes that? I like that. Because yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. 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 Because it's your birthday. We roll on your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your because it's your birthday. We sing happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. All right, we got a couple of birthday shout outs that we would like to give. We would like to give some birthdays too. So let's go ahead and start on the tippity top. Oh my people, sing it, mighty, sing it, mighty, sing it, mighty. Hey, first I want to say we're gonna pull up the birthdays for the 5th. I want to say happy birthday to one of the drunk uncles himself. You haven't seen him on the podcast in over a year and a half. He has pulled a complete hiatus, but we still say hi even when they on hiatus because we say hi to the friends and even hi to the haters, right? We're not saying that he's a hater. We're just saying he's on a hiatus, right? I want to say happy birthday to the one of the drunk uncles, Mark Crespo. Right. Also, let's move forward to birthdays for the 6th of December. Right. Want to say happy birthday to. Want to say happy birthday to a high school friend of mine, and a co-worker of mine. Right. Want to say happy birthday to the one brethren, Alan Parker. Happy birthday to you. Right. Then we also got to say happy. I should have had your picture for this one. I ain't gonna lie. I can't lie. I can't lie. Hold on one second. All right, I normally don't do this, but you make me feel so comfortable. Right? And you made me, and because you make me realize that when it comes to my wrestling friends, I probably should do this for all of you. All right? And I don't. And it made me realize that, you know what? Just because I haven't done it for everybody doesn't mean that I can't start now by doing it for at least one of you. Right? So next I want to say happy birthday to the one and incredible. Where the fuck you at? Is that you right here? All smiles? Yeah, that's you, all smiles. Am I not? Oh, okay. I'm about to say, am I not following Juice? Okay, let's get a professional picture. There we go. This is one of the most recent ones I saw anyway. So, want to say happy birthday to, let's see, share my screen? Yeah, let's share that screen. To a very talented young lady in the wrestling business, right? And that is one. Okay, there we go. And that is one. I know where it's at. And that is one Rufy J, right? Rufy J. Had the pleasure of working with her while being the ring announcer for Platinum Pro Wrestling, PPW, Cut Above the Rest. All right, we were in Naples. She works out of the Miami area. Right, she lives in Miami area. I remember because we was in Naples, and she needed basically like a simple just convoy to help follow to get her out of the town as we was leaving the show in Naples. But I had the pleasure of working with her in Naples, and when I say one of the best young and talented superstars coming up out there. When we say that she's a 5-star athlete, she is a 5-star athlete, and she is the gold standard of women's wrestling. Wrestling promoters out there, listen to me. Listen to me and listen to me hard, right? If you want your promotion to pop, if you want to make sure there is 5-star talent, if you want to make sure that you got great representation for your belt, your brand, your company, you go out there and you hire yourself Ruthie J. And I don't want to say happy birthday to her. I'm telling you guys, she's a star. And if you don't have her on your card, then your card ain't popping. And if you haven't seen Ruthie J, then shame on you. This is an L on you. Because you're missing out on this 5-star talent, on this gold standard. Like I said, I was in PPW, cut above the rest. When she stepped on the scene, she made a cut above the rest look average. That's how damn good she was. I'm telling you, I should be a promoter. I should be on somebody's ringside just talking my shit. But she's the real deal. She is definitely the real deal. She's talented. She's professional. Like she's gonna check every single box that you are looking for when you're looking for talent. And she's even gonna mark off some of the boxes that you didn't even know you were looking for. That's how damn good she is. Promoters out there. And I know that CCW has already caught wind. Everybody else, you're sleeping if you don't have Ruthie J on your court. Promoters, organizations, start calling her, start getting your bookings in, make your appointments, get her on, get her in. And I'm telling you right now, you won't regret it. Listen, if you regret it, I'll give you your money back. That's real shit. Like, I barely know her, and I'm telling you, like, if you don't get everything that you're looking for from her, I'll give you your money back. So I'm gonna come looking for you, Ruthie. If that's the case, I'm gonna be looking for at least half of that money back. But definitely want to say happy birthday to Ruthie J. Special, talented young lady. And she's only getting better with every single match that she has. And if you don't take advantage of getting her in here now while she's at a premium, I'm telling you, it's gonna be too late. It's gonna be too late by the time you finally do get her booked into your show. By that time, she may be out your price range. I'm just saying. She's that damn good. Spent 2 whole weekends with her. Or was it 1 weekend? She showed up on the first half of the weekend, or was it the second half? I feel like she was on the back end of the weekend because we did 2 weekends in Naples. I feel like she was there for the second weekend, not the first weekend. That's how I feel, but my memory's bad. She could have been there for both weeks, and I don't remember. But no, she wasn't. She was there for the first. She was there for the second one and I'm gonna tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because it was during that event when I became single again. Because during the first weekend, I definitely had a boo. By the second weekend, I was single and looking to mingle. And I definitely shot a shot. I think I shot a shot. Listen, I may have shot a shot. And then I realized, hey, what you doing? Like that's not professional of you. Like, you know what I mean? Shoot your shot somewhere else. And then I went to a different gym. Oh, that was a proper. You know, let me stop getting my Stephen A. Smith on and talking about happy birthday, Ruthie J. Right? And we had no birthdays for the 7th, ironically. So no birthday shout outs for the 7th. But for the 8th, for today, we got a couple of birthdays to give us. So first I want to say big up to one of my homeboys, Jacob Hernandez. Right? Jacob Hernandez and you from around the way back when I was hanging with Toby and them. You know, it's funny, right? We talked about Toby and them actually earlier this month. Toby, remember Tobias, he had a birthday on the 3rd. That was actually one of his brethren right there. Right? So I'm assuming that they used to celebrate together. If I remember correctly, he last moved to Vegas, so he's no longer in his local area. Right? And I think last time I was in Vegas, I tried to link up with things. They didn't quite happen the way it was supposed to, but hey, it is what it is. Happy birthday still though to one of my brothers, Jacob Hernandez. And then I want to say happy birthday to the lovely and sensational Nikki I cause problems in households because exes are insecure because I have a pretty face and a nice rack dyking. I know that's a lot. No, you have no. I want to say I grew up to David Dyking, right? Super talented, choreographer. Jeez, super talented choreographer, director, actress, dancer, singer, promoter, shop girl, drink maker, and girlfriend angerer. Can I tell you how much problems she caused in my house? It was that same ex though. That ex was a problem. Nikki wasn't a problem. That ex was the problem, right? But this is just funny that all of this ties in, right? But I definitely like it was the sugar one, right? The Shada Dunkley one, right? Super insecure, right? And anybody that I told my I think I told you guys, anybody that had a pretty face and a nice rack, she was automatically jealous of, right? And so that literally meant that she was jealous of 90% of the women I knew. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. You have no clue how much problems you started in my household. But it wasn't your fault. It was not your fault at all. I was just dealing with somebody super insecure at the time. But goddamn, she had a throat of gold and an asshole to match too. Whew. I ain't gonna lie. That's the only thing that has me randomly at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning searching for her name. I'm like, yo, I wonder what she's doing. I wonder how she's been. Just thinking with my dick. Something. Oh man, my bad. I've told you guys plenty of times. I'm a baseball fan, first and foremost. Oklahoma City came back. They were just down. Oklahoma City is currently up 135 to 131 with 37.5 seconds left to go in the game. Let me get back. I told you guys I'm a baseball fan. So what ends up happening, right? Without my own knowledge, you're very welcome, Jacob. You're very welcome all day, baby, all day. I go left field without me even knowing. That's just what happens. I just go left field. But let's go ahead and reel this back in, right? So let's get Marcel and to Ruthie and to Alan and to Jacob and to Nikki. I want to wish you all a happy birthday. We hope you party hard, especially this is the weekend, right? So I hope you party hard. You enjoy everything. You regret nothing. You flex on these hoes and you continue to stay MyT. Mm. You can't forget the flex on these hoes part. Like that's the real that's the real embodiment, right, of being MyT. Is that you have to remember to flex on these hoes. And hoes don't have to be just female. Hoes could be male or female. Hoes is gender neutral. Right? We live in a gender neutral world where I can use any kind of word to describe it. You can realize that it don't have to mean that you are male or a female. Unless I'm speaking Spanish or French and I specifically put in words that have like the female or male ending at the end of it. But as long as I'm speaking broken English, then you know I'm being neutral with my gender categorization, as I say. 136, 134, 19.5 seconds left to go. Let's move forward, right, and get into our first topic of the day. Because our first topic of the day has not changed, honestly, throughout the last couple of weeks. Because we just have a topic that just really needs some getting into. Let's go ahead and get into our mighty topic of the day. Let's go ahead and ring the alarm because we have one, Adam Silver. He has officially spoken up on the Oklahoma City rapist, Josh the Kitty Lover Giddy. Right? And I'm not gonna stay here for long. It's not a lot to get into. Right? Basically what ended up happening is that Adam Silver was questioned on why Josh Giddy, after the allegations of him having a relationship with an underage girl, right, that he continues to be on the court. Well, Adam Silver basically came out and said that, well, the way that the NBA generally likes to run these things, that they don't jump to conclusions when it comes to investigations, right, or legal investigations. What they like to allow do is have that is not the day, and you know what, they are kind of true, because if we take this all the way back from the Kobe days, right, they generally don't pull players off the court for legal issues. They don't self persecute. Now they'll take players off the court for images that are detrimental to the NBA, right? Or actions detrimental to the NBA, which I don't know how messing with a that one of your superstars is messing with a child is an actions detrimental to the NBA. Yeah, you know, you know that, but like I said, I don't get it. But maybe this isn't for me to get so much. So Adam Silver says basically we don't like basically they don't pull players off the court for this kind of thing. They allow the legal process to run its course, and based off that legal process, then they go ahead and make their you know they make their punishment based off of that, which is true, but also has a sense of bullshittery in it, because the NBA can pull you for any kind of action that seems detrimental to the NBA, right? Now, because and so maybe that separates the John Morant versus the Josh Giddey, right? And I explain it this way: John Morant didn't do anything legally wrong, so there was no legal punishment or any legal process for them to wait for, except for the investigation that was being done about with the strip club incident, right? That was a quick investigation and realized no laws are broken. Once they said no laws was broken, NBA came and said, yeah, but it's still a bad look. Fuck you. We're punishing you. But they let him play while that was going on. If I remember this correctly, as you said, Kobe allowed to play. Remember, Kobe was literally going to court that day, flying in, changing in the locker room while his team was already playing, and coming back and playing in the second quarter, coming back and playing, 6 minutes left in the first. So I can see it. I can see the explanation that he's provided. So as long as it still continues to be a legal issue, right? I'm assuming that they are not going to do anything. Once he becomes deemed guilty or innocent, then I'm gonna assume whether it's guilty or innocent, the NBA will come in then and be like, hey, if it's guilty, bam, you're not playing, obviously. But if he's innocent or not innocent, they can't find enough evidence for guilt, or because there's not any cooperation from the family, they can't go further in their investigation. Remember, the NBA, the NFL, these other leagues, they have their own PIs. They hire former private investigators. They hire former CIA agents. They hire former FBI agents. They hire former CIA Secret Service agents. They have real people in their security. Former military CI units, CID units. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So it is still possible, right? That once the NBA, right, once the legal views have once the legal process has completed itself, that we'll probably find the NBA make their punishment or their reaction then. And like I said, and they react, and whether he's found guilty or not guilty, I don't want to say innocent, but guilty or not guilty, then that's probably when, once that verdict comes out, right? And that because it just become from the simple investigation, right? Whether you could find enough evidence to pursue, not enough evidence to pursue, then the NBA may still say like, well, yeah, we've done our own investigation, and while you may there may not be anything that's coming from this legal view, yeah, now we have pieced all of the necessary pieces that we need to come together, not only of this video of this post that the young lady posted, right? You can clearly see Josh Giddey is naked in that video, right? Right? That the teen that this underage teenage girl posted a video that posted a image saying that she just fucked Josh Giddey. Now, if you remember, Josh Giddey was said to meet this girl in a club where 18-year-old individuals and up were supposed to frequent at, which means that she lied to the that she faked her way into the club. Now, what makes this important? Because in the state, if I'm not mistaken, I saw this properly in the state of Oklahoma. If you smash a underage girl, but you thought she was 18, or she gave off the appearance that she was 18, it's okay that you fucked her. That's what they say. Now, so that's the reason why you see. So now I understand a lot of reasons why a lot of people are automatically pulling up the image of her being in the club, and you also see other videos of other people putting up videos of her in the club. I get that. So how long did it take before you found out? Because Josh Giddey lied already and said that, oh, it was a one-time thing. But if you follow the timeline of videos, there was a video that was posted after this one, after this post, right, that you're seeing right now on the screen, that said, hey, this is my girlfriend. And he's tonguing her down. This is like they're on the beach some now. There's another video of him having a conversation with her brother talking about his girlfriend. So you're telling me at no point in time Josh Giddey ever realized that she was a teenager? When it took social media investigations that quickly to pull up a video of her in her high school uniform doing a cheer? Then there's also videos that have surfaced of you bringing her to games and her sitting courtside. So you're telling me you were doing all of this, yet the only time you smashed her was that one night after the club? You didn't smash her any other time between that time and the time that you made the video calling her a girlfriend, or the time that you were bringing her courtside, or the time that you're having intimate conversations about with her brother about her? None? Never? This seems a little suspicious. It just didn't anything a little suspicious. It's a little suspicious. A little suspicious. A little, like nothing. Nobody saying a little suspicious. A little suspicious. Oh, this a little suspicious. A little suspicious. Or it's just me. It could just be me. So this is where we're currently at now in the Josh Giddey in the Oklahoma City rapist saga. Giddey the kitty lover. The NBA has to wait. The family isn't cooperating. So which probably means he paid them off. Or she probably just doesn't want her name sullied because she was proud to be fucking a 20-plus-year-old NBA star, as most 14-year-old girls would be. How many 14-year-old girls, boys, swoon over celebrities? And at 14-year-olds, right, as teenagers, fantasize about sleeping with these adult celebrities and would allow that adult celebrity to sleep with them if they ever got the chance. But that's because the kid is not old enough to think properly, while we call them children. The adult should always know better. Josh Giddey didn't know. Nah, there was no way that Josh Giddey knew for 6 months. Nah, there's no way Josh Giddey know. I mean, this went on for a whole year. There's no way the Oklahoma City Thunder knew or the NBA didn't know. I mean, the NBA knew when Camilla Anthony was hanging around with thugs in Baltimore. Yeah, they pulled him inside the office and they sent him aside. It was like, hey, we see what you're doing here. You need to cut this shit the fuck out. They knew then. They knew when Allen Iverson was running around with unsavory people. They knew then. They knew when Steven Jackson was out here thugging. They knew then. It's so weird when it came to all of the wrong people that all of these, let's just say, young black athletes were hanging out with, that could have tainted either their image, messed up their money, or take the NBA's image. They pulled these guys into the NBA front office in New York and said, hey, we see what you're doing. You keep this up, you probably won't be in the NBA for long. So you're telling me Josh Giddey is having a relationship with a minor for a year, and the NBA has no whim of this as he's bringing her to games and sitting her courtside? Yeah, this country's behavior towards pedo behavior is really weird. 'Cause I find it odd that these sports league that have these former CIA agents, former FBI agents, former Secret Service agents can't sniff out the dude that is practicing in pedo behavior. But you know what? Sniffing out people that partake in pedophilia like behavior has always been something hard for our country to do because it is wrapped right into our country's officials, our mayors, our governors, our priests, our who's the top of the Catholic Church, them niggas, our popes, our deacons, our pastors. It is pedo behavior is weaving into all of the respected positions in this country. All of these old motherfuckers like little girls. And that's the reason why the FBI, CIA, and all these motherfuckers can't catch them. And even when these motherfuckers are former CIA and FBI's, why they still can't sniff it out because they were never taught to, because they were always taught to turn a blind eye to it because they all accept it. I'm just saying. I find it a little suspicious. It's a little suspicious that the NBA knows when you're hanging out. This is before social media. They know they can tell when you're hanging out with a couple of people that sell drugs, but they can't pick up a whiff when you're hanging out with a 15-year-old girl. A little suspicious. Little suspicious. Now, you know what's weird? If Josh Giddey was doing this in Australia and it got whim in America that, hey, Josh Giddey is smashing some 15-year-old chick in Australia, we would look at him like, well, hey, while that's a little creepy, it's what's normal in Australia. So the one weird thing about Josh Giddey I can think is that for him, this isn't awkward behavior. He just didn't realize it would be an issue until he had to put together like, damn, in America, this isn't something that like this sort of behavior is frowned upon. Like I have to remember that. It's like being able to drink at 15, 16 years old in Germany and you come to America and you're drinking, you're like, wait, what you mean I can't drink? You know what I mean? In Australia, he's been fucking chicks 6 years younger than him since he was 18. He's been fucking 6 years younger than probably since he was 16. It's perfectly normal to him. Is what he's grew up doing, is what he's grew up watching every male do in his whole life if he grew up in Australia this whole time. I don't know when he stopped growing up in Australia. I don't know if he was drafted from Australia. I don't know. I gotta look and see if he was drafted from a college. I have to see when he came in. But he's listed as Australian. So he's been used to the men in his country just smashing teenage girls like it's nothing. So he comes over here, sees a nice little underage girl in the club, and be like, "Hey mate, how about another shrimp on the barbie?" And then he gives her that old kangaroo pouch. Fuck the Australian for beer. Beer back, that is. So, like I said, I understand nuance. Doesn't make it any better. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. But what I am, I guess, pleased that I've been seeing and hearing so far is that you are starting to hear the Oklahoma City Thunder crowd starting to boo him. That is a thing that you are starting to get. You are starting to hear him get booed in the other arenas. Now, it isn't a loud boo, But you can hear it in the faint winds. Every time he touches the ball, there's at least one person out there talking about, boo that man, boo him, boo, boo, you goddamn child molester, boo, boo, take your ass back to Australia, boo. Like you can hear it every once in a while, but it's not loud. You know what I mean? It's not loud. Like every time he touches the ball, I feel like everybody should come up in unison. Chester, 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 Chester. You know what I mean? But it's slowly getting there, I'm assuming that as this comes to light even more, which is part of the reason why we still talk about this every single week on the podcast, because we still feel like not enough people are aware that Josh Giddey is fucking a 15-year-old. All right. Yep, 15. Everybody say like, I don't know, shouldn't look. Stop it. Stop it. You just sound creepy. You just sound creepy. Like there is no way to defend it. You just sound creepy. And this is what Josh Giddey said. At least all his legal team said. Let me see Josh Giddey alleged encounter with the I think that was either from him or his legal team. Which like I said, this doesn't add up. Because they've made several posts. I want to say somewhere between 4 to half a dozen posts, right? That tells a completely different story. And those posts are forever. A guy, he can delete his account. She could try to delete his account or whatever, whatever. No. Those things have already been shared. Somebody already had them saved on their computer. They're out there. I guarantee you I can go out there and I could find it right now if I wanted to. Maybe I'll do that for you guys for the next time. Maybe, just maybe, I run that back for you guys the next time. Oh man, but let's move on, right? Because I don't want the NBA. I don't want to ruin your NBA experience with Josh Giddey talk. Just like the same way at LeBron James has been ruining this in-season tournament. Like, and you know what? It's just LeBron James just ruins everything for me. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. He just does. It's like Tom Brady. Like watching Tom Brady. Like when I watch playoff games, any form of playoff, Super Bowl, whatever, with Tom Brady in it, I can never enjoy the game. Whether they're up or whether they're down, I can never enjoy that game. It doesn't make that Super Bowl enjoyable to me. It doesn't make that playoff enjoyable to me. Not one bit whatsoever. Even after they lose, it doesn't fully make it enjoyable to me. Now, on the time I'm not really watching the game enjoy. I'm watching the game in like this weird angst, like I can't wait for him to do something mediocre for everybody else to be like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing that we've ever seen since somebody was able to bite their own toenails. Like that's the portion that I get tired of. And really, like, what is that? LeBron James, like, he really does ruin everything for me. And he is ruining this in-season tournament for me. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I can't. Yeah, I said it. He is. He really is. And I can't lie, though. In-season tournament's kind of lit, though. The in-season tournament has been kind of lit. Because the way I've been looking at it, because I just take it from, like, as a Knicks fan. Even if you're a Pacers fan, if you're a New Orleans fan, even maybe even a Sacramento fan. I want to say you look at this maybe as an early measuring stick, especially for Knicks and Indiana. And because the in-season tournament had a really good mix of teams that were in the playoffs last year, teams that have made deep playoff runs, as well as teams that have made it to the second rounds. And if they were in the playoffs, they would have been a neophyte to the playoffs. So it kind of gave them an idea of what second round playoff talent looks like, and also conference final playoff talent looks like, and championship playoff talent looks like. If you were the right team, you got an opportunity to see to have a feel for each level of competition during the in-season tournament alone. So I've been looking at this in-season tournament as an early measuring stick for some of these neophyte teams. For some of these teams that they're not quite used to either being in the playoffs yet, being in postseason play, or just getting out the second round, because even that is a different thing. One of the first teams that we have to give the love up to all day long. Yo, sound the alarms, ring the horns for me. Let's go ahead and look at Phoenix and Sacramento. I should go look and see why Houston is dragging Denver by 23 points, 103 to 80, but Sacramento and Phoenix is just a little bit closer. It's a 7 point game, 103-96, about 4 minutes left to go. They're in Phoenix. We'll keep you guys up to date on this game as well for a little bit. Indiana, and you know what? I forgot. I was supposed to be doing something, and I probably end up doing it on Monday. I'll probably end up doing it on Monday for the podcast. On Monday for the podcast, we're gonna take a look at see some of the teams that's impressed us early. And I've been teasing with you guys this for a while. And I've been wanting to do this for a while because the team I'm about to bring up now is honestly probably the team that has impressed me. Actually, it's probably 1A and 1B. But I'm probably gonna call Indiana to the fire a little bit more. Right? Or elevate them a little bit, just a little bit more, because I was kind of interested in Indiana from the beginning of the year, right? Obi Toppin, the former Nick, goes there to Tyrese Halliburton. I keep calling him Tyler Halliburton, but it's Ty. Sorry, as I just remembered his name and corrected myself, my brain is reprogramming his name back to Tyler. And you'll understand much, much later into this podcast why it's doing that. Sorry, Will. But it's sorry, KJ. Sorry, Mark. Sorry to the drunk uncles. But his name is going to end up being Tyler. I apologize. Tyler. But one of the guys that impressed me early was in the in-season tournament was one Tyrese. I'm trying Tyrese, right? Was one Tyrese Halliburton, right? And if you guys remember this, the in-season tournament, we had Indy take on Boston in the first round. New York took on Milwaukee. The Lakers took on Phoenix. While try not to look. New Orleans. Who New Orleans beat? Sacramento? Yep, Sacramento. Okay. So this is what I meant, right? Because in the early first round, you had Indiana, and this is a really good game. As I feel like a lot of these were good games, except for the Lakers games, right? All of these were good games except for the Lakers games. Indy's taking on. Let me get myself out the way, right? Indy's taking on Milwaukee. This game is a back and forth game for the majority of this game, right? Actually, no, I'm lying. This game was led majority of the time by Indy. They took an early lead and they never looked back, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. Now, actually, at least sometimes you speak generically. My bad. I ain't mean to do it to you, shawty. I my apology. I ain't mean to do it to you, shawty. I'm sorry. No, but yeah, if I remember, like it was a back and forth game for the majority. Indiana held on to the majority. Held the lead for the majority of the game. If I remember this correctly. I want to say Milwaukee took a lead late, or closed the lead late, and then we had a late surge by Tyrese, right, to really help solidify that W, and they would advance with Tyler putting up his first ever triple double, dropping 26 points, 10 rebounds, and 13 assists. To help his Pacers outlast the Milwaukee Bucks. And I'm sorry, that was against Boston. My bad. That was against Actually, no, Boston was back and forth. When I say Milwaukee was beginning to end, early lead. Milwaukee came back. Third quarter surge from Damian Lillard kind of helped them close the gap. Then you heard Tyrese answer back with about 9 straight points from the 3-point line. Uh, Push the lead back out. Now, yeah, Boston was damn okay. So Boston may have been back and forth. Boston may have been back and forth. Milwaukee was basically beginning to the end with them just closing that lead. You know, these games blur. Plus, Milwaukee and Boston both wear green. Like you can't expect you to remember all this shit. But the Rain Man, I just got some flashes, and everything I saw was just Milwaukee. 'Cause I remember Damian Lillard really heating up in the third quarter after having a really bad first half. But that wasn't the case against Boston. They basically kind of went back and forth against Boston. Then you got still a late surge by Tyrese Halliburton to come away with his first ever triple double to help them get a win. And it wasn't as if you didn't get like Boston's best. You got 32 from JT, right, Jason Terry. You got another 30 from JB, Jalen Brown. You got 0 from KP, Tingus Pingus. But that's because he was out injured still. New York Knicks, we played the Boston Celtics tonight. We weren't lucky enough to play them without an injured Christoph Porzingis because they are a different team when they got Tingus' Pingus in the game, and we got Pingist. It's like we got beat by the Milwaukee Bucks in the in-season tournament, which you kind of thought that the New York Knicks would come out a little bit more pep in their step in this game against Boston because they just took that embarrassing loss against Milwaukee. But I guess you could say the same thing about Boston too, right? That you expect them to try to have a bounce back game after having an embarrassing loss to Indiana. This Indiana team has been exciting. If this is the first time that you are watching this Indiana team, one, I guess it's a good time to catch them because it's still beginning of the season. So now you have the opportunity to kind of put them on your radar, right? I mean, because you have Tyrese Halliburton's triple double. You had Julius Randle when they played Charlotte, right before they made it into into these final knockout rounds. Julius Randle ended up dropping 25 and 20 as well. So you saw a lot of really big performances coming out of this in-season tournament, and you saw a lot of excitement. The crowd in Vegas is kind of a weird crowd to still deal with because there is no home court advantage. If there isn't plays made by the recognized stars, the crowd is kind of mute. Tyrese is out here cooking, and they're not appreciating, but they'll appreciate the alley oop to Obi Toppin because it's an alley oop regardless. But the 3-pointers by Tyler doesn't get the like when Damian Lillard shoots, like when LeBron shoots. You know what I mean? Like there's something about that star power in front of that neutral Vegas crowd that helps to give stars like that kind of a boost. Like I said, the Knicks got embarrassed though. 146, 122? Yeah, 146, 122. It was a close game until the in the half. Not mistaken, the Knicks held on. Milwaukee was only up by 3 points going into the half, and then was just talking about full facial. We're talking about a complete explosion in the third. We're talking about Mentos in the Pepsi bottle or in the Coke bottle. Complete explosion. by Milwaukee. They went off and they opened up a gap, and we just weren't able to come back. And this probably led into the same old mixed narrative. When I said that this was a measuring stick, this I also kind of meant this for the New York Knicks, right? Like for Indiana, you could kind of see, right? They didn't make the playoffs last year, but they got a couple of young guys, right? They have Mataran over there, they got Obi Toppin, and they have Tyler, and if I'm not mistaken, they may have a Sabonis. Unless Sabonis is in Sacramento, and I'm mistaken. Um, you see the pace that Indiana plays with, right? Like Tyrese Halliburton, like we mentioned his triple double, his 26, 13, and 10. But what I did fail to mention is that he had zero turnovers in that game as well. This is a measuring stick for some of these young teams. New Orleans first round victory over Sacramento, right? A Sacramento team that was a playoff team last year, a deep playoff team, pushed Golden State last year. A New Orleans team that thought that they could have been a high playoff team if they didn't lose Zion early. Zion Williamson, somebody again that the organization is still talking to about trying to take your diet seriously. Because you heard them talk about it in the game last night. They have Zion playing point forward, but he don't play with enough pace like LeBron James to really take advantage of him running point forward. It's slow. So let's say that this in-season tournament is an early measuring stick for some of these young teams like Indiana and like New Orleans, so they can. And like I said, I want to say Knicks too, because with New Orleans and the Knicks, it kind of humbles you and puts you back in your place and realize like, hey, you ain't really swinging your pendulum the way that you think you are. Like slow down, little man. You still in cold water over here. You better wait till you warm up before you start trying to have like a pissing contest. It reminded me very early that the New York Knicks needs a guy. And this is where we get into the same old Knicks narrative because now it comes back to that Julius Randle is good, right? Jalen Brunson is cool. He's real nice. They still need somebody that on any given night can drop 71, can give you 40, can give you 50, can give you 32.8 points per game. They need somebody like that. And while these other guys are cool and they're good and they're nice, RJ Barrett can give you a bona fide 20, Jalen Brunson can give you a bona fide 25, Julius Randle can give you a bona fide double double 25, 25 in rebounds. You're gonna get your double double from Mitchell Robinson, rebounds and points, a bunch of blocks, and they still missing somebody. They get a lot of they're bleeding everything they can bleed out of this. This reminds you of the Chicago teams from back in the day. They have the heart. You can't say they don't have the heart and they don't have the effort because effort is what helps get them at least 15 victories a year. It's just applying more effort than the other team does doing it for a regular season game. I mentioned this early in the year. I say it again. Like there's a lot of pieces out here that they keep mentioning, and none of them sit right with me unless you're Donovan Mitchell. Very recently, you heard Quentin Grimes asked to come off the bench because he doesn't feel like he's getting enough shots in the starting lineup. So he feel like he'll be better coming off the bench with Emmanuel quickly. So he wants to go and try to help, take a pod, take out a Emmanuel quickly shot chart. As they start Josh Hart. We'll see how that works. But again, you still don't have a bona fide guy that can just go out. Like, you understand, like, Emmanuel quickly is nice. Emmanuel, but he's still showing you that he's still kind of a bench guy. Who knows what Emmanuel quickly will be like if he was relegated to 17 shots also a game. You know what I mean in the starting lineup. But you know what he's delegated to those 17 shots a game coming off the bench. Reason why I say 17 shots coming off the bench because if you guys have been paying attention to how Tom Thibodeau has been orchestrating his offense, you go back and look at the numbers. Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett, Jalen Brunson, all average about approximately 17 attempts per game. That's by design. If you look at it this year, you started noticing that coming off the bench, Emmanuel quickly is getting just about those same amount of shots as well. You can understand Quentin Grimes' frustration because he's been delegated to just about 5 to about 10 shots per game if he's lucky. There hasn't been a lot of room to game plan him into that offense. Like this is a very, believe it or not, this is a very structured offense because Tom Thibodeau runs a very structured and tight ship. But in it, a lot of the while it looks like just so and so just taking the ball, hey, it's designed to give that ball to Julius Randle and make something happen from his favorite spot on the court a couple of times a game. Jalen Brunson, R.J. Barrett, it's designed that way. But the early measuring stick of the in-season tournament just revealed to you, like, if the New York Knicks fall within the 4 or 5 seed again, they'll most likely end up advancing. Because in a 4 or 5 seed matchup, New York Knicks probably are the better team 9 times out of 10. 7.5 times out of 10. Right? 75% of the times the New York Knicks are the better team because they'll out effort them. Right? It's in the second round, and that's because the talent level is damn near equal. In the second round, it's going to be different. So let's say we face Orlando in the first round. We'll probably beat Orlando, not just because, and I use Orlando for a very specific reason because I think it's something of Kenny the Jet Smith said, right? Not because we have the most talented person on the court. It's because we're gonna have the team that, and Orlando tries very hard. Trust me, they're a high effort team. We're gonna have the more experienced team that also gives that same effort. Julius Randle and Paolo Banchero is just going to end up battling and canceling each other out. And then you're going to see the X factors come down between Cole Anthony, Jalen Brunson, R.J. Barrett, and the rest of the squad. And Franz. All right, let's go ahead and skip this game. Looks like Golden State just lost that one. Let's go ahead and roll over to what should be Phoenix now. If they're still up. Nope, Phoenix is already down. What happened in Phoenix? Oh, that was Phoenix, Sacramento. Yeah, Phoenix lost 114-106. Golden State lost 138-136. Of course, Memphis lost. Okay, who do we have left? And we can write out the rest of the show too. We have Sacramento. We got Dallas and Portland, Clippers and Utah. We'll look at Houston and Denver. They got about a minute left, and Houston is whooping that ass. Again, it's the Donovan Mitchell trade for me. It's 100% the attempt to trade with Cleveland again and see what you can do to procure Donovan Mitchell. And again, I say that you try to pull that trigger before, and I don't know if this time frame has passed already because it's been some time now, before all of the assets that the Philadelphia 76ers got in the James Harden trade become tradable. because there is a window where you can't trade those assets again immediately, right? So before that window opens up and they become a viable competitor in the Donovan Mitchell trades, I believe the Knicks need to go all in on Donovan Mitchell. Just go ahead and say screw it. Go all in on Donovan Mitchell because a team with and figure out the rest. Figure out and redevelop the rest because if it's going to cost you, because right now I guess the only fear is having to give up R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel quickly. That would be the piece that you try not to do. Because if you give up R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel quickly, then you're stuck with what? Josh Hart, Quentin Grimes. You're gonna have to elevate and promote Deuce McBride. But no, but then you still have Devin Chinko to give up. See, but to give up Quentin, to give up Emmanuel quickly and R.J. Barrett, believe it or not, is to give up 32 points per game. Fully is. Is it the same dynamic 32 points per game that you're going to get just from Donovan Mitchell? Nah, it's not. Is it the same kind of security that you're going to have knowing that you have Donovan Mitchell at the end of the game versus having those two? No. So does it make it worth it? It does. Does it? Does that make it hurt? It does. Does that mean it's probably the right move to do if it's going to hurt you and hurt Cleveland and make you better and make Cleveland? Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, I think I may be ready to convince myself to give up. Okay, can I just give up Emmanuel quickly and Quentin Grimes? Can I give up just Emmanuel quickly and Grimes, please? I'm not gonna lie. I'm I know it's the move to make. I know it's going to be the combination required to get Donovan Mitchell. But I'm telling you right now, to boister Cleveland with Quickly and RJ Barrett. Now I'm gonna tell you this. The Quickly one's intriguing. The Quickly one is intriguing. And I'll tell you why. Quickly's intriguing. Let me see it. It popped up here. Because while I'm afraid to boister Cleveland, Emmanuel Quickly isn't a lock to be in Cleveland next year. This is the last year of his contract. They can get RJ. You have to give them the other guy too, Fournier. And if you give them Quickly, Fournier can get off the books immediately. Quickly, you don't have to resign. You have RJ. Quickly may not want to be in Cleveland, then quickly becomes a free agent. And I'm telling you this right now. I wouldn't be mad at Quickly if he says, yo, you know what? This is what happens to me. I'm gonna try to find the best scenario for me if I'm gonna be a free agent. I'm going to LA. I'm going to Golden State. I may even say, fuck you, New York, and go to Boston. How you like them apples? Or imagine this. Milwaukee Bucks' defense's rating has taken a plummet. He goes to try to add some stability to their defense. And that means trying to usurp Damian Lillard. Or Forgetting his name. Their guard. But he could probably move to the three. While Manuel quickly comes in and starts at the two. So there's ways, opportunities, possibilities. But I, damn, you heard me earlier in the podcast. I think I may have convinced myself that I am ready to give up R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel quickly if it meant attaining Donovan Mitchell. I think I've kind of come to that point. But because then you know what happens, right? I'm gonna tell you what happens in a weird way. If you're Quentin Grimes, it becomes shut up or nut up, or nut up or shut up. Because if Emmanuel Quickly and R.J. Barrett both come out that lineup, and now you are now the guy coming off the bench, now playing the Emmanuel Quickly role, we're gonna expect 12, 15 points per game for you. Not just that, we're gonna expect dynamic play from you. Like when Emmanuel Quickly comes in the game, his shots feels like daggers. His shots feel like a jolt of adrenaline into the team. His 3-point shots give you the effect from the crowd. So you have to realize if that happens and he's gone, and these numbers are given to and the numbers and responsibilities given to Quentin Grimes. If you don't very quickly just start looking like Emmanuel Quickly, you're gonna get ran out of the city very fast. Super fast. But I can see those two now being the options that the New York Knicks fall back on, right? Or are left with if they're going to attain Donovan Mitchell. I think I'm going to have to do it. Give me Jalen Brunson. Give me Julius Randle. Give me Donovan Mitchell. Give me Mitchell Robinson. I guess Josh Hart comes into the starting lineup. Ooh. That's the thing about it. Gets so small. 6'5" Josh Hart. Because isn't RJ 6'6", 6'8"? I have to find RJ Barrett's height. He's 6'6". And is Josh Hart really only 6'5"? Let's take a look at Josh Hart. Josh Hart is 6'4". And then if you add him with Donovan Mitchell, he's 6'3". So you're talking about a 6'2" Brunson, 6'3" Mitchell, a 6'4" Hart. I'm gonna be kind of small. This is this is why it makes it so hard to get rid of RJ Barrett in here. For as much as people talk, he's a reliable 20 points per game. He's reliable. He's a solid 6'6", 200 pounds, solid defender, solid shooter, solid 20 points per game, decent driver, decent contact. This is why I'm more willing to give away Emmanuel Quickly and Quentin Grimes than I am RJ. This is why I know it has to be RJ and Quickly. Because if I'm okay with Quickly, see, this is when you have to get, no, this is when you just have to get creative. You're the Knicks, right? Where if you're the Knicks, you have to, I don't want to say stand firm, because standing firm is what made you lose out on him the last time because you thought there was a bluff being involved. But this is where you gotta have to try to get creative. Give up the picks. Give up 5 years of picks. If you want to keep RJ, damn, that's a lot. But if you want to keep RJ so that you can add Donovan Mitchell, it may have to be because Donovan Mitchell is going to be a sign and trade. I mean, yeah, sign and trade. As soon as you sign for him, you gotta have to. As soon as you trade for him, you got to sign him. He's on his last year of his deal. So you also signing him with the intentions of you also re-signing him with the intentions of signing him. This also what makes it okay to get away quickly because instead of giving Emmanuel quickly that money, right? You give that to Donovan Mitchell. Quentin Grimes is going to come up for his contract, I think the year after that, right? So instead of having to also give Grimes his money, you give that because RJ Barrett's already paid. He's already getting like his 18 million or whatever it is, 28 million a year, 24 million a year. Just know that him, Julius Randle, and Jalen Brunson are getting about the same 4 year, $100 million contract. Just to let you know. And Jalen Brunson's gonna have to get paid eventually too. So if now you're talking about dishing out this kind of money, you already have the RJ Barrett under contract. It may have to be so again, yeah. Quentin Grimes, Emmanuel quickly, Fournier. If you need another guy in there just to make things right, you could throw one more guy in there and throw in 4 or 5 years of first round picks. You know how the situation goes. Two first round picks, two swaps. I like that swap shit. Like, we're not giving them our picks. We're just gonna swap picks that year. Two first, two swaps. I wish Chill Will was here because I would really need to ask him because he's the Cleveland fan. He's the Ohio expert here. What kind of package would it take to get Donovan Mitchell off of Cleveland and get him onto the Knicks? What kind of package would he accept from the Knicks to get Donovan Mitchell, a guy that we know is also leaving next year? That's the other part that makes it weird too, because he's not resigning with Cleveland next year, so they're gonna lose him regardless. That's what probably what makes the pick so hard to give him that many picks for a guy that that they weren't going to they weren't going to be able to withhold anyway. I don't want to dwell here too much longer because really all this came about was just watching this in-season tournament. It just reminded me again because what it did is that as a Knicks fan, it was a quick smack to reality. As I'm enjoying my season and enjoying them having the best 20 game start that they've had in 20 years, right? 25. How many years was it? 27 years? Right? It was like since like 1993 or 2003, one of the two. But it's the best 20 game start that we've had. And immediately I'm reminded amongst the best talent in the East, you will fall short because you are still short one guy. And we've never been closer to being short one guy than we've ever been. I started saying this since last year. At no point ever you could look at the Knicks and be like, yeah, they just need that one guy. They need that one guy that at any time he wants, go get them 71. Anytime they want, go drop 45. When you play the other team, we look at them and we're like, oh yeah, we definitely got the best player on the team. We got this. And our second best player is better than their second best. And our third best is better than third best. Or it matches up at least. And he'll be like, oh, and we got RJ still? because like I said, it's the early measuring stick. Zion puts up 20, 10 points in 27 minutes. It's an early, like again, if you're a New Orleans fan, it's an early smack to reality that this dude's work ethic is something to be questioned still. Don't know if he's going to last to the end of the season. And if we made it to the playoffs, we're probably a second round knockout. In season tournament. It's been an early jolt of reality. Like it just sets up like it was like it was a setup for basically what you're, if you're looking at it, it's a setup for what you're lacking. Like so in a sense, if you're a general manager, you actually got an early look of what you really need. So in a weird way, it's a good thing, right? I guess you can say that there's good and bad in everything. If you're a general manager and you're really paying attention, you're trying to be proactive, and you take the in season tournament as an early measuring stick, you can very did I miss a caller? No, we'll see. You would see you can see very early of what's needed to make the improvements on your team. So you don't have that fool's goal. Because like I said, you could be flowing through the regular season and be like, oh no, we have what we need. We'll be okay. Like we just need this, and they'll do this, and the reality check came right here. You're short this. You need that. This may look good and spurts in the roller coaster of a long 82 game season, but when we get to that postseason tournament, you're gonna come up short. And if your goal is to win that postseason tournament, the in-season tournament kind of showed you what you needed. And this is why I keep saying, like, yo, the Lakers not the Lakers. LeBron James really does ruin everything for me. He really does. Like he's ruining this in-season tournament for me. That they were gifted. The Lakers were gifted a timeout over the Phoenix Suns on a possession where they didn't have the ball. That helped them. That helped them get the win over Phoenix as they win that game 106-103. Indy comes back and they take out Milwaukee. We already kind of briefed on this. They take out Milwaukee, and again, like I said, they led the whole first half. Milwaukee looked lethargic, almost as lethargic as New Orleans looked. But at least Milwaukee came alive in that third quarter. New Orleans never came back to life. Let's just get out the way. New Orleans got drugged. New Orleans got beat. They got embarrassed. 133-89. Can I tell you, I stopped watching that game last night. Completely stopped watching that game last night. I was like, oh shit, that's right. This Thursday night football on. In a game that I thought was a wash, because the last time I saw the score in that game, it was 21-10. Congratulations for everybody that picked the over. I think that happened in the first quarter, at least in the first half. That game is now a 3-point game. So I'm like, you know what? Thursday night football. Guess what? I had no reason to watch you tonight. Did not want to get in. I was not even going to give you guys the time of day. Then about Bill Belichick made me say like, hey, let me go ahead and watch you. Like, nah, I was gonna chill on that for real, for real. It was good. It was good there. Unfortunately, unfortunately, Pittsburgh did not pull off that W. They end up getting their ass whooped. And I really never got a chance to watch that Lakers game. I really didn't. LeBron did some good things. He was alright. Anthony Davis did some things alright. I didn't even get I didn't even pull up their numbers. I didn't even pull up their numbers because you know what? As impressive as LeBron James looked, has looked in this in-season tournament, we've seen this for the last 21 years, right? We've seen him over the last since his time with the Heat, right? Get every call known to man, right? Have the referees consistently lean calls his way, right? Or give him the advantage in situations where it's clear as day that it shouldn't be that way. We've seen the referees show favoritism to him, is basically what I'm trying to say. Especially now that he's in his wonder years. Why didn't just so much, oh my God, yeah, he was fouled, whistle. Even with all that, and as impressive as he is at the age of 62, doing what he does, the most impressive person to me, and not for nothing, we talked about some of the in-season tournament early candidates for MVP. I think I may have my MVP actually locked in when it comes to Tyrese Halliburton. Like, no, no lie, no lie, no lie, yeah. Tyrese Halliburton, right? In his first game, he had we had a triple double against Boston. He dropped 26 points, 23 assists, 10 rebounds. The most important stat that we pointed out there was the zero turnovers that he had. In the win against Milwaukee, adds another 27 points. That's a total of 53 points, right, in those two games. Adds another 15 assists. So that's 28 assists in those two games. He gets. I forgot to take his rebounds down, but I think he had like rebounds maybe. Let's add them up, 17 rebounds. Again, you know what the most important stat there was? Zero turnovers again in that game. So the last two games, high pressure games. One against Boston, one against Milwaukee. Two playoff teams, two teams that have been to the finals recently. In a winner takes all game. He gets 28 assists and no turnovers. While also dropping 56 points. Sorry, 53 points. That's insane. That's insane. And if you look, right, Tyler Halliburton, right, is currently the NBA assist leader with, I know he's in double digits, but give me a second here. So I have to look at his note. I got to look at his number. Where's his assist at? Come on, give it to me. 12.1 assists per game. If I'm not mistaken, I think 12 assists per game get you over 1,000 assists for the season. Let's do this some quick math real quick. Well, let's see here. 80, 80 plus 32. Am I right? I was doing 80, but let's see here. I think it does. Nope, nope, nope. You kind of fall short. You get 984. But I just want to point out that he's already having a better assist season than Chris Paul, who is not the best point guard you've ever seen. Well, maybe you have ever seen. But I'm telling you this, there are better point guards, and there are better white point guards at that too. But you know what's so funny? In an era that consistently looks at just the stats half the time to make their determination about who's great and who's not, that John Stockton gets so disrespected. You've heard me talk about it here already when we talked about the NBA 2K tiers, right? And they had John Stockton all the way in the fifth tier. And they had John Stockton lower than Karl Malone to me. And yet Karl Malone isn't the leading scorer in anything, or the leading rebounder or anything, or the leading blocker in anything. Karl Malone is the third leading scorer in NBA history because he played beside the guy that was the number one assist player in NBA history. You understand that John Stockton has five, right? I'm sorry, has four of the top five single season performances in assist. You know, the only other person to crack that top five is Isaiah Thomas, not Chris Paul. Chris Paul doesn't even have a top 10 performance in a single season. You know who's up there seven times? Isaiah Thomas. You know who averaged over a double double? You know who averaged over 1,000 assists per season for multiple years? At least seven? John Stockton. You know who has the most assists in league history? John Stockton. You know who averaged the most assists per game in league history? John Stockton. Not Chris Paul. I understand the control and flow that you saw Chris Paul play the game with, but ultimately Chris Paul was not John Stockton. Also, might I add how many defensive first teams John Stockton's was on. Chris Paul has some, but you understand how many? Or I'm sorry, how many single season steals how many of the top 10 single season steal leaders John Stockton had? Yeah, because John Stockton has that as well. So not just was he did he have some of the best all-time single season assists, he also have had some of the best all-time single season in steals as well. Top 10 performances all time in a single season. Chris Paul ain't there. I know you people like Chris Paul, but he's not him. Not even over the last 50 years was it him. In the last 50, it's more John Stockton than it was him. And then you still have Isaiah Thomas and Magic to have to succumb. And Steph. And Kyrie. And Allen Iverson. Chris Paul may not even be in the top 10 in point guards. Let's just get it for real, for real. He may not even be in the top 10 in point guards. Big O, the logo, Sharif Abdul Rahim, Rob Strickland, Mark Jackson. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think I even have Chris Paul in my top 10 point guards of all time. Oh, you know what? That may be a night, and that may be another nice little triggering question to ask the people versus the normal one of the crazy thing about Stockton is that he is an all-time leader in assists and steals and second place and ain't even close. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, like I was trying to say, like the John Stockton disrespect that happens baffles me, and I'm telling you, it may be a race thing. I hate to say it. It may be a race thing. I think they overlook him because he's white. But like I said, in an era that literally just looks at stats half the time, and that's what they use, right, to make their overall judgment, the fact that they just completely look over John Stockton baffles me. He's sometimes rated way too low on the all-time list and even the all-time list amongst point guards. I like Chris Paul. Chris Paul is cool. He ain't no John Stockton. He's not even close. And I'm telling you, I wasn't even supposed to be here. And you know the reason why I actually got here is because I'm watching this young cat Tyrese Halliburton play. And I'm telling you right now, I'm already putting Tyrese Halliburton above Chris Paul on my list. Yeah, and like I said, this may be the troll in me. This may be me talking to all the Chris Paul fanatics that constantly have Chris Paul super high on their list. This is me talking to you guys. It's very personally. Like just to give you that little jab in the rib to let you guys know that you got this young kid, Tyrese Halliburton. He's coming, right? If you don't see him now, then put eyes on him because he's already made another list of mine, right? He's right now on the watch list on another list that I have, and if you make it on this list of mine, you're doing something right. You doing something right. There's a coach, Al Salah, Robert Salah, whichever one of the Salahs he is, Jets head coach, right? There's a quote that he likes to say a lot. And if you don't got haters, then you ain't popping. Or you ain't popping if you ain't got no haters. Y'all wait to that list at the end. Y'all wait to that list. I already told y'all about it. I gave y'all enough forewarning on this one. But Tyrese, that's 28 assists, no turnovers in the last two games. That's against Boston and against Milwaukee. That's impressive. Now his next game is going to be against the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James, and it's going to be real interesting to see if the Indianapolis Pacers get overwhelmed early the same way the New Orleans Pelicans did, due to pure lack of experience. That's really what that was. It's it's kind of how how I talk about when Chris Paul's a very good point guard. But I don't have him in my top 10 point guards. Yeah, see, I'm kind of with you, Mill. Like I don't think I have him in my top 10 either, and I think I think that's gonna bother a lot of people. I think that's gonna bother a lot of people. And just because it's gonna bother a lot of people, I'm gonna have to start bringing it up to people. Like I'm gonna have to start asking the people. You wait to Monday's show. This may be one of my questions for Monday's show. When I'm in the live audience at Sharkies, you guys wait. I may have to add this. CP3 top 10 PG. I may even run this on the. I may even run this on the website too. I mean on the social media sites too. Right, where do you rank Chris Paul and all-time point guards, and see what happens? And I'm telling you, it's not even. It wasn't even just that. I know that there's a lot of There was a lot of John Stockton slander. 2K, you did this. You did this, 2K. You're. I don't. Again, I don't know if you guys have played 2K this year. 2K this year has their something called their GOAT tier. And let me see if I can pull this up. Do I still have this available? I think I do. In their GOAT tier, right? In the top, what's it like? I think in their GOAT tier they have the top, maybe it's top 50, maybe top 25 players all time. Maybe I want to say top 50. Let's see if we have this available. Wait, no, I don't want to invite no guest. Stop that. Let's see if we can get this available. Do we have the GOAT tiers? Where did they put him? Let's see. How many players do they have? So this is okay. This is more like top 20, top 30 all time. So at least they have him there respectfully. Now, granted, they don't have Chris Paul very high. So it was like the top 30, 35 players all time, and they have you going through the GOAT tier. They have John Stockton like right around 30th. Behind Allen Iverson, behind Chris Paul, behind Patrick Ewing, behind Kawhi Leonard. And they also have not Ezekiel Elliott. They also have Isaiah Thomas in this tier as well. Now, they have Karl Malone, if I'm not mistaken. This is like tier 5. They have Karl Malone in like tier 3 or tier 2. And that's what fessed me up. I'm like, there's no way Karl Malone is in tier 3 and you have John Stockton in tier 5. There's no reason you got John Stockton in tier 5 behind and I love Patrick Ewing. You don't have for what John Stockton was as a point guard versus what Patrick Ewing was as a center. did not equate to the same thing. John Stockton should be levels higher than Patrick Ewing. See, that's the disrespect. See, I'm glad you guys are seeing this. This is what now that 31 guy. That's either okay. That's a real person. That's David Robinson. I had to make sure the my player person wasn't there. But this is where this stemmed from. This is what set me off this year, where I felt like I have to defend John Stockton in his position of all-time great players. Because I'm realizing there are a lot of people that feel this way about John Stockton. They don't have him above Chris Paul. They don't have him above Allen Iverson. And the fact that he's not above Kawhi Leonard or Patrick Ewing, there's massive levels of disrespect here. Because you guys understand, Isaiah Thomas, outside of Magic and outside of Stephen Curry, also are the only three teams led by point guards to actually win a championship. Led by their point guards to win a championship. You understand how dynamic and game changing you have to be? That's when people look for these point guards to do it. I'm like, you understand, there's not a lot that do it throughout history. And since Magic and Isaiah Thomas, when the next person that had to do it had to be the greatest shooter of all time. All time. So having a point guard is cool, but you need a little more of that PG. Stockton had a way more of an impact than you, and I love. See, same way, same way. Like you understand how much we love. Like I'm New York. We're Jamaicans and New Yorkers. We love Ewing. We know that, and we know out of respect to the game, there's no way he should be ranked above John Stockton. 2K was wilding on this one, and again, I've come to the realization that we got Drew there again. We got to the realization that that's how a lot of people feel. But again, I wasn't trying to get into the 2K tiers. This was really just to bring to light that this young kid, Tyrese Halliburton, if he continues to have a season that he's having now, he will end up having a better season than Chris Paul has ever had. That's what I'm here to tell you. Facts. I don't think ever. If Tyrese Halliburton continues on his path that he is on right now, the guy that you call point guard, he is going to have a better season than he has ever had in his third season in his league. Playing for an Indianapolis Pacers team where I don't think most of you guys can name more than two players on. He's doing this with Miles Turner, Obi Toppin, Mathurin. I don't even remember. Benedict Mathurin. I think his name is Mathurin. I call him the Jamaican in me call him Mathurin. Right? Like these are the guys that he's doing this with. Obi Toppin, to you New York fans that wanted Obi Toppin out there so much, thinking that Obi Toppin needs to get more minutes this and Obi Toppin needs to do this, or maybe Obi Toppin needs. He's not even finishing games in Indianapolis. He's basically playing the same exact role he was playing. Basically, now granted, he had his discrepancies with Tom Thibodeau at the end, but for everybody that was trying to find a more of a role for him, he has basically the same exact role with Rick Carlisle. Rick Carlisle, is he still there? Who's in Indianapolis? That's what ended up. When it comes to the end of games, Obi Toppin doesn't finish games. This is the guy that you were so clamored to hold on to. That even with his second team, that he is a better fit for. They play at a better pace. He's happier there. You can see it. He touches the ball more there. Even they're like, yeah, Obi, we like you, but you still can't finish. You're not gonna finish these games. Now, I'm gonna mind you. I'm gonna tell you something. Since he's been there though, to show you the accountability difference. His rebounding is down since he's been in Indianapolis, and his 3-point percentage is down since he's been in Indy. And as I mentioned, he's not finishing games. But you are getting a similar plus minus from him. Similar. Not as good as it was in New York because accountability is different. Rebounding accountability, defensive accountability, shot quality accountability, accountability, period. Remember, we have a culture now set by our head coach. We have standards. If these standards generally aren't met, you don't get playing time. If certain things don't happen in practice, you may not see time on the court in real time. This is what good coaches do to hold people accountable because if not, young players will walk all over you. Would you rather be what you were or what you are now? Would you rather be Washington Bullets or Washington Wizards with Jordan Poole, who reminds you every day why Draymond Green punched him in his face? Or would you rather be where you're at now? Because that's the difference between discipline and no discipline. Would you rather be the New York Knicks or the Charlotte Hornets? Would you rather be the New York Knicks or the Washington Wizards? Right now, today, this year, these last 2 years. That's what I'm saying. Like the in-season tournament has been such a nice little breath of fresh air. And then you have LeBron James just poops up the place. He really did. Because the Phoenix games ends in this controversy, and like, damn it, of course a LeBron James game would end in controversy. And then while every other game was competitive, nope, nope, not the Lakers game. They blew them out early. So again, it goes back to my original question. I wonder if I hope more than anything that Indianapolis saw what happened to New Orleans and realize there's a level of intensity that you're gonna have to come up with. And it may even be a higher level of intensity that you used to beat Milwaukee. There's a championship level of intensity that LeBron James knows how to play at that Tyrese Halliburton doesn't. Like I said, I was trying to mention earlier, it's kind of like when you have these young teams, like a young Philly trying to play Kansas City in the regular season and not realizing that in the regular season, Kansas City is playing you like it's a Super Bowl. They're playing you four down territory, and if you're not ready to play four down, a four down territory kind of game, like what New England used to do to Kansas City when they realized that they were a contender, and Kansas City hadn't realized it yet that when we play New England, they're playing four downs on us, like it's the Super Bowl, like it's the AFC Championship game. There was a level that they were able to take this up to, and you see that experience overwhelm New Orleans, not just beat New Orleans. The championship experience that the Lakers and LeBron James has overwhelmed New Orleans. And we really thought New Orleans had something to play for. Not just because, hey, we're young, we're trying to show that we belong here. You have a young Zion versus a long LeBron James. LeBron James made Zion look slow and fat. There's nothing wrong. I just had to sit there and pause for that one. I had to let that one marinate. So I didn't want to watch Monday Night Football. I really didn't. I really did not want to watch Monday Night Football that night. But LeBron James didn't leave for much to be excited to watch. New Orleans was overmatched. You see it early. Now it makes me wonder if New Orleans is going to make another move in this season to try to improve their team. Donovan Mitchell. Right? I have to assume that Donovan Mitchell has to be on everybody's radar if you're looking to add one more dynamics and you think like, hey, we can give away the right pieces to try to make this fit. But it does make perfect sense though, based off how they looked last night, on why there's constant rumors now floating all over the place about how displeased New Orleans is with Zion Williamson's dietary habits. and why it's leaking out again on how many times they've had to talk to him about it, how many times they've asked him about it. Listen, they even asked him in post conference, like, hey, and I told him, I was like, yeah, listen, I told my teammates that I was going to be more locked in and more committed this year. What are you trying to say, that you haven't been locked in and committed these last couple of years? Are you not taking your NBA career seriously as a professional? And probably not. And we see it with his injuries, with his weight. But let's not talk about Zion Williamson's weight. Let's transition, right? Because there's another team pushing their weight around. And it is about time. Oh man, let's keep it borough and let's head over to the to New York City, where the New York Yankees has made a big time trade acquisition, folks. They went out there and they got one of the premier highlight names on free agency today in Juan Soto. We heard that he is a dynamic outfielder, right? That when he bats, it feels like that he freezes his opponents with his fiery swings. A master of both hot and cold quirk. His father being the number one superhero in all of UA. And now he picks up where his father left off, right? Being able being able to react and cool off his body in ways when his dad used to overheat, and find that perfect balance. And that kind of balance is coming to the New York Yankees. No, folks, it is not Shoto Tagadori. It is one Juan Soto. Yes, folks, that is the breaking news that we have for you. That happened the other night, and I'm gonna let you lie. I'm not gonna lie. It came across my wire, and I had to wait for a while and it didn't even had to wait for a while because it was being teased the day before. The night before Juan Soto was signed, the day before Juan Soto was signed, you started hearing the rumblings. You started hearing the whispers that the Yanks are in talks with acquiring Juan Soto. You know that Juan and the Padres are in talks, are coming close to a deal to acquire. I know you're thinking like, this sounds like something that could possibly happen in the next 24 hours. Went to bed, woke up, deal done. And now, if you're a Yankees fan, this doesn't solve it all, but it does help give a really big patch to a really big problem you guys that we were having. And speaking of patching up and solving problems, have you guys heard about Blue Chew? What is Blue Chew, you ask? I'm glad you asked. Blue Chew just happens to be a little blue pill that can get you back your thrill. All you have to do is open up a pack and head straight to the sack. Just a few chews before you do. It has the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so this is one opportunity that you just can't miss. For a very low cost, you can beat it up like a boss, and she will love how you come through like a champ when you Blue Chew in advance. And if you use my code of GSSS, you can get your first order of Blue Chew for free. Yes, folks, for the free. Only thing you have to pay for is your shipping and handling. Make sure you take care of your postal workers, because they're going to make sure that they come, whether it's rain, snow, sleet, or hail. So you make sure that you take care of them as you come, whether it's rain, snow, sleet, or hail. Because when it comes to Blue Chew, the only things you need to know about is that you chew it and you do it. How you do it is up to you. Whether you want to do it like LL Cool J, where you're just doing it well, or you want to do it like Lionel Richie, where you're doing it all night long. Yeah, they have a Blue Chew for you and whatever style that you want to do it in. Whether that's doggy style, missionary style, jackhammer style, 69 style, Amazon style, Amazon style, baby boy style. You mean froggy style? Froggy style. Whatever style that you do, there's a Blue Chew for you. And it doesn't matter if you need it or you want it. With Blue Chew, you can always flaunt it. Listen, don't get stuck with whiskey dick ever again. Blue Chew that shit. And like the Undertaker, it will rise. Talking shit in her DMs. Hey girl, you have no clue what I'm about to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to hit you with that bing blow plow. You make sure you do all that shit you said you was about to do in her DMs. If that pussy is super good and you're like, oh my god, as soon as I got in there, well, guess what Blue Chew does? Like I said, like the Undertaker, it's gonna resurrect the dead. And right after you hit that, oh shit, I can't believe this is about to happen. Oh no, you know what's about to happen? Oh shit, you know what's about to happen? Blue Chew. Because with Blue Chew, you chew it and you do it. All right, let's get back into the sports. So the New York Yankees, they guarantee that they're gonna have a great performance by getting themselves Juan Soto. I was like, sorry, Juan Soto. I guess I gotta stop calling him Shoto, right? But they get the whose game do we want to go to? Clippers, Jazz, Dallas, Portland, Detroit, Orlando, already the finest. I guess let's go Dallas and Portland. Let's see if Scoot Henderson is back from the G League. So they get Juan Soto, and the very first thing that comes to mind is that we fix the problem of everybody pitching around or walking Aaron Judge. Plain and simple. That was the very first thing. So because if you guys remember when Aaron Judge came back from injury last year, and you can see that he was immediately making an impact on the batting. What started happening? They basically pitched around Aaron Judge until the New York Yankees were out of the playoffs, and then they didn't pitch. Basically, they didn't pitch back to him until the New York Yankees were statistically out of the playoffs. You get to eliminate and alleviate the concern and worry about having Aaron Judge pitched around. You no longer can walk Aaron Judge because you have Juan Soto ready to give you that fire and that ice. Now they just have to fix up the rest. Now, so in this, let me see. So it wasn't just Juan Soto that they got, right? They also end up getting the outfielder Trent Grisham, but they end up giving a lot from their prospect form. They end up giving up Mike King, Drew Thorpe, Johnny Brito, Randy Vasquez, and Kyle Higashioka. Higashioka. And you already starting to hear the talks with the rumors about the fans. Oh my God, he's kind of a big guy. What if you're playing in the outfield? That's a lot of threat on the tire. What if he gets injured? Whoa, pause. This guy's like 24. Unless he has a history of injuries, why are you worried about playing people that play baseball or playing people that play basketball, playing people that play any kind of sport the moment you resign them? Because when you didn't have them, part of the reason why you enjoyed them because you're like, oh my God, look how many games that this person plays. We can rely on them. Now that when you finally get a person that you can rely on for XYZ amount of games, you're like, yeah, I don't know if I want to be able to play this many games. No. The way that you get calluses to play through games is to play games. And until you build up that callus and that thickness, right? Then you are not going to ever be able to get right to play those damn games. You have to build that up. Mom's gonna be so sore tomorrow. So congratulations to the Yankees on landing the big fish, right? With the big bat in free agency. Now, the only thing left in the dream team scenario is for them to go ahead and get the pitcher batter from the West Coast. What's his name? The Japanese dude, if I'm not mistaken. Shohei Otani? Showtime. Yeah. Only thing left is for them to go get Shohei. They find a way to finesse and get Shohei, and it's a wrap. We feeling like Kanye and Jeezy. You can't tell me nothing. That would automatically feel like the Yankees are back. And then you know what's even more so? What's even more weird is, and I still don't like the general manager for the team. I don't like Cashman. I don't. I still believe that for the most part over the last couple of years, right, he has been playing it safe by playing up to the formula, knowing that if he gets injured players, he won't be judged on when those players get injured and the Yankees falling short, but also placating that into the fact that, well, I can't go out and get some of these other names because you have handcuffed me financially. So when I am looking for guys, I have to go get the bargain guys at hope that they won't succumb to their injury, right? And and I'll be able to get them for more what they look like when they're not injured. And that hasn't worked out in our favor either. It's been a roller coaster for the last couple of years being Yankees fans, because from the outside looking in, we are in a great spot. We're making the playoffs. We have these names. How can this be, man? But it has been consistently a non-winning formula of baseball. It's been a non-World Series winning formula of baseball. It's been a formula good enough to get you through the 162 grind. It has not been a formula to get you the dub in the World Series. It has not been a formula to get you out of the ALCS. It's just been a really good formula to help win games in the regular season. Now you've seen there's been a lot of changes because of this too. Analytics department wiped, farm system training changed. Coach still there, GM still there, president still there. But the Yankees didn't manage to pull this one off. They saw the big carrot out there, and they went out and they got him. Now the one thing about Juan Soto is that this is a 1 year deal. This is a 1 year rental. We gave up one, two, three, four, five players to get back two in a rent. Well, one guy in a rental, and all this is just really for Juan Soto. Soto, starting to fade over here. I need more sugar. I need more sugars. What's my sugars at? I need more. More. When it comes to the Shoto trade, this is technically going to be a 1 year deal. Um, After this year, he has made it known that he wants to hit free agency. He wants to hit that market. So what needs to happen is that more than anything, New York Yankees need to try to win right. Need to win right here and right now. They need to do whatever they need to do and start pushing more chips into the table. Start fixing and trying to patch up whatever holes they can fix and they can patch up, and start seeing if they can make the most out of this 1 year, like it was a Kawhi Leonard kind of year. Because he's going to hit free agency next year, and there's no guarantee that he's going to re-sign with the Yankees. Now, what you do is that you hope that he does. because this is gonna be one of the times where the New York Yankees say, you know what, we're gonna Yankee on this one, and we're just gonna open up these pocketbooks and let's go ahead and get this dude some bread to keep one of the best young players in the league. And now you got to figure, right, that your lineup, even though he's not playing half the time, right? You know about, you know the guy I'm gonna say, but you're actually, I'm gonna say him right now. Your lineup could be Juan Carlos Stanton, Aaron Judge, and Juan Soto. It's a lot of Juan on Juan, right? Really, is that Juan Carlos Stanton, Aaron Judge? Yeah, that's a little Juan on Juan, Juan on Juan, Juan on Juan. Sorry, trying to numb my back up. Like that could honestly be an order in your lineup, but we know that Juan Carlos Stanton would never stay healthy enough to be a reliable figure in that lineup. So you really still are just talking about Aaron Judge and Juan Soto. And that's still pretty darn good because it protects Aaron Judge from the walk. So now you imagine you getting 45 home runs from Aaron Judge, and you get another 35 from Juan Soto. We're talking about big stick energy. Big stick energy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, eh? Let's keep it borough, right? Let's keep it borough. Because that's not the only thing that's happening in New York right now. There's actually something going on with the New York Jets. Play my sound. Suck. 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 I know what you're saying now. T, you sucked all year. You said you had no expectations. What's up with all the emotions right now? The emotion isn't because we suck, it's because our quarterback sucks. And it isn't because our quarterback sucks in the field of play, it's because our quarterback sucks as a leader. He sucks as a reliable person. He sucks as a football player. He sucks as a football mind, football man. He sucks as he sucks as it comes from football integrity. So rumors come out, right? That, and I can't even say so much rumors, right? But news comes out of Jets camp that Zach Wilson was talked about going into the game, and he was reluctant to play due to fear of getting injured. And my very first thought is this dude's a traitor. He got to go. I don't see how he survives one more snap in that locker room or on that field behind that offensive line behind us, because you don't think Garrett Wilson feels a little banged up and doesn't feel like coming back out there, knowing that he has you as a sorry ass quarterback to throw him the ball? You don't think Brees Hall or Dalvin Cook, Brees Hall who just came back from injury, by the way, Dalvin Cook who's fighting injuries every single year, don't want to risk getting injured playing with a sorry ass quarterback like you. See, this is the thing that makes it so that makes it so hard to swallow with Zach Wilson, right? Being reluctant, regardless of how it came out, being reluctant to go in. And let me go ahead and take this little sidebar and say this: that it came out, and the news came out to Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers went on the Pat McAfee show in his little Tuesday spot, or whatever spot it is, and he said that this stuff kind of needs to be fixed. This isn't the kind of thing that goes on in a championship organization. What do you benefit from doing things to undermine your head coach in the public view, or even in your own in your team's own locker room? Who did this come from? Why are you leaking this kind of information out? What goal are you trying to attain here? Right? Because all it does is that if you guys have one goal to try to win a Super Bowl, this starts poking holes in that for no particular reason, which is all true. This is not Super Bowl behavior coming from an organization, but this kind of is the Jets. They don't know what it means to be a Super Bowl organization or a Super Bowl winning team. This is part of the reason why you have Aaron Rodgers here, so that when stuff like this happen, it just doesn't linger and it doesn't force, it doesn't get around the room. You know what he does? He checks the person that leaked this. Who's the chicken shit coward? That was the person that went ahead and leaked this to the media. And what's your purpose and what's your end game here? But ever to start shit. And if you're leaking this, why the fuck are you here? Why do you even want to be here? Get the fuck out. Player, coach, trainer, shoe tire, equipment manager, I don't care. Get the fuck out of here. We don't need your kind of poison in our locker room. Now, with that said, right, even though you don't need that kind of poison in the locker room, it brought to light something else. Zach Wilson being a little chicken shit, coward piece of shit, don't belong in the locker room, venomous little possum. Because him not wanting to go out due to fear of injury, every single person on that offense that plays alongside of you can say the same thing due to how sorry you are. It isn't Zach Wilson's fault he's this sorry. It was a reach picking him with the second pick on some quarterback from Boise State or wherever the fuck he was from. From not prove it you, basically. He came from some university that's never proven it university. So when you get the quarterback, he's a reach. Granted, you're gonna get 5 quarterbacks reached on every single draft from here on out, if not 7 in the first round from damn near here on out. But let's keep it realistic. There's gonna be at least 4 quarterbacks chosen in every single first round here from here on out, and every single last one of them. And outside of maybe 3 years out of 10, every single one of them is gonna be a reach on. So he was the reach, and he's a bad quarterback, and he's a bad leader, and so far every single year when things aren't going well, you kind of hear something, you get a little glimpse into his character. Last year he didn't take the blame for it. He blamed the whole entire offensive line. Very explained why they end up benching him for Mike White, a guy that never could win a goddamn game. That's why he got benched at 5-2, mind you, for a guy that could barely win a game. And this year we're kind of getting the same thing. He was benched. He was benched for Todd Boyle or whatever it is, Crab Fish Boyle. Right now they are signing Brett Rippon, and it sounds like Brett Rippon is going to be the starting quarterback over him. And I'm telling you, it sounds like Zach Wilson's days in the New York Jets is done. If it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers, literally they're campaigning for him because this is somebody that he loves because he knows the kid personally. Oh, Zach Wilson probably would have been gone already. But it has shown, and the thing about it makes it even more weird, is that the New York Jets just put in 2 quarterbacks that played like shit. They did not look any better than Zach Wilson. So it helped to confirm the fact that when the New York Jets head coach and organization was saying that Zach Wilson gives us the best chance to win based on the quarterbacks that we have in this quarterback room, they weren't lying. It's just that we didn't realize how bad Zach Wilson was compared to, you know what I mean, and how bad those other guys were going to continue to be as well. It was like, nah, there's no way they could be worse than Zach Wilson. Oh, yes, the fuck they were. So I don't understand why Zach Wilson, even in this aspect where these other 2 quarterbacks just came in and wet the bed and looked like trash, that even though it may not be the greatest of improvements, you should come in there with some kind of confidence and a little bit of gusto to you. You know what I mean? Where's your huevos at to say like, oh, okay, Let me show you how much better I am than these two bozos and these two slappies and these two, what were they called? Scabs. Let me show you how much better I am than these. So you guys were booming. Let me show you how much better I am than these. But to say like, yeah, I'm kind of fair. I don't know. Like, maybe it was something. He was like, yo, I'm kind of bagged up. I don't know if I'm ready to go back out there so soon right now. It could have been something as simple as that, and then maybe the person reiterated it in a way that it makes it sound just juicy. Oh, Zach Wilson kind of refusing to come back. You know what I mean? Do the you know what I mean? Saying he's afraid to get hurt because in that scenario, it sounds like right then and there you have lost the locker room because the next time you take field, if you not getting the full blown steaming Willie beaming treatment, go look. And if you guys don't understand that reference, go look up steaming. Go watch that movie, Steaming Willie Beaming and his invisible juice. If he doesn't get that kind of treatment, I'll be shocked. But that's what I'm fully afraid of. Is that they ain't gonna leave him out there to die. He's gonna get sacked 12 times in that game. Against Houston, mind you. Houston. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. So, as I said, they set Jet sign Brett Rippin. They released Fish Broil. And I know that the Jets probably don't want to, but I don't know if you can keep Zach at this point in time. I don't know if you're able to keep Zach Wilson still at the end of this, or if you do keep him, you start making him your third string quarterback. You constantly now put somebody ahead of him now all the time, and he doesn't see that field unless your backup gets injured, then that's the only time he sees the court anymore, the field anymore. Ooh, about to get in here real good. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That was his hand. I'm trying. I'm trying. I didn't inhale. How much time we got left in the show? Let me check that out. We got about 45 minutes left in the show. That's actually not bad time. I didn't even realize we spent that much time here. Didn't even realize that we spent that much time here. Uh Before we cross over and we get into our football picks of the week. Right, or for the week. In season tournament. It continues tomorrow. There's only one game on this whole entire weekend. Saturday and Sunday. And that is the in season tournament game. That game is gonna be aired on Saturday, and then on Sunday there is nothing to do but watch football. There's no NBA, no nothing, just in season tournament game. So I guess, like I said, it's like a little also like mini in season break, right? Everybody's in Vegas, get to do that, spend time with the family in Vegas, 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 Vegas. Get done early Sunday in Vegas. Yeah. Then we're back on Monday, Tuesday. And then, like I said, we're talking. Let me see, by that time, today's the ninth. Today's the eighth, ninth, right? Because I guess we rolled into Saturday already. But we're talking the 10th, the 11th. We're back in 2 weeks. It's the Christmas Day games, and now Knicks. Guess what? Because you just got thrashed by the Milwaukee Bucks, you now get another quick turnaround opportunity at them to see if you can return that punch in the mouth, to see if you held a couple of receipts. Let's see if we can. If we can. Oh shit! Mm-mm-mm. Maybe time soon to end this show. But before we do that, let's see if we can go ahead and get some cash for you guys, right? Wait, can I bring that down a little bit? A little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. There we go. Yeah, let's see if we can get some cash with you guys. And as we start off with our NFL picks, right? First game of the week. Actually, that kind of already passed. I think we had New England and Pittsburgh in that game, and we would have been wrong. We would have picked Pittsburgh. Let's let you guys know. All day long, we would have had Pittsburgh. Even though I know what Bill Belichick does to neophyte quarterbacks, I would have convinced myself to pick Pittsburgh. Just to let you guys know. Next up, we got Tampa Bay versus Atlanta. This is both interesting games here. One of those division rivalries kind of games. I don't know if it was a Gardner Minshew or whichever one it is that's in Tampa Bay right now, pushing that ball up and on the rock. I don't quite believe in them yet, but let me go ahead and take Atlanta so they can go ahead and disappoint me for all the times I used to talk shit about them, but have no clue I want to take them now. Next up, we have the LA Chargers versus the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson is back. He's off of injuries, off of the bye week. He has been cleared to play without any limitations. We're gonna go Baltimore Ravens. Next up, we have Detroit versus Chicago. Are we gonna go Detroit on there? We know that they've had a little bit of a roller coaster in games coming up recently, but we're going to look for them to take advantage of their division rivalry in the Chicago Bears, who really have been the one that's been struggling over the last couple of weeks. Indianapolis takes on Cincinnati. Without any Joe Burrow, I find it hard to pick Cincinnati in any of these games. We're going to go with the Colts on this one. Jacksonville takes on Cleveland, and this is one I really would like for you guys to keep an eye on what's going on with the quarterback situation in this Monday Night Football that passed this week. Trevor Lawrence end up going down. Now it looks like he is already on his road to recovery and may not miss any games. As of right now, we are going Jacksonville, but we can't say much about Cleveland. Even Cleveland has lost Deshaun Watson for the season already, so he's already out. It's really the question of if Sunshine's going to play or not, and if Sunshine plays, they win. If they don't, I have to go home field advantage. Right now, we have Jacksonville over Cleveland. We're going to get New Orleans over Carolina. Carolina just doesn't utilize their talent well, and from the moment that we found out that owner comes down and actually tries to actually installs plays every single week into the playbook that must be ran, yeah, we know that this is a fugazi franchise, and they got to be wasting all of the talent that they are accumulating over here for the next couple of years. Next up, we have Houston taking on the New York Giants, New York Jets, and this I'm picking the Jets for no reason because it's my team. Nico Collins, Matt Strauss, but Nico Collins, that Houston team, they've been a little surprising this whole entire season. Putting together good runs, put on good stats, able to take the lid off sometimes when they needed it to. One thing about the New York Jets is that they have shown that you can't pass on them so much, but you can definitely run the ball on them. They have a decent running game down there in Houston as well. We'll see exactly which one is able to take over. Maybe the run game opens up something for Nico to be able to take advantage of in the outfield. But for right now, my heart is giving me all New York Jet vibes. What a rush, because I think it's also giving me Minnesota Viking vibes as well too. And I'm not trusting the Las Vegas Raiders right now. Don't know why I trust. I don't trust either one of these teams, to be honest with you. But right now, I feel like I am on an away kick, and I think I need to go away, and I probably need to fly away. Yeah, yeah. So I am back to picking home teams, and the very first one I think we're going to take here is going to be San Francisco over Seattle. Seattle has been doing well. San Francisco has been doing better. San Francisco with a couple of impressive victories over the last couple of weeks, just kind of showing teams, especially teams like Philly. You know what? We're coming in dressed in all black. We're putting on our black Reeboks, our black Air Force Ones. I'm talking smack to you all week through Instagram and social media. I'm talking smack to you before the game. I'm smacking you before the game, and then the bell rings for the game to small, and I smack you again then too, and you do nothing about it because we told you last year if we had our quarterback, we would have spanked that ass all on the floor. That ass until you beg me to give you some more. Spank that ass, whoa, whoa. And folks, they came out and gave you that whoa, whoa. San Francisco's proven themselves that regardless of what their record is, that they are the best team in the NFC. Only thing that's going to slow them down is them and injuries. We got San Francisco over Seattle. Next week we got Buffalo taking on Kansas City. Buffalo has been reeling lately. Reeling. They've been reeling. They've been reeling hard. They have a 6-6 record now, going on to 500. Who would have thought that when we thought Miami Dolphins was going to win this division, that the Buffalo the Buffalo Bills are actually going to be this bad. I ain't see that coming. Like, we understand, like, we thought that this could possibly have. Oh, why I still got Zachy up there? Take Zachy down. We thought that this division could possibly put up definitely two, but definitely two, but even possibly three winners out of here. But that's also when they thought Aaron Rodgers was going to be part of this equation as well. Speaking of part of the equation, we have Denver taking on the LA Chargers. Now, who would have thought that after having their 1-5, saw that the Denver Broncos would end up being the hottest team in the league? That 1-5 still looked like it took them 6 games to try to figure each other out, trying to get some things perfected. And once they got that first W and they sniffed what it was like, that they were able to keep on pushing, keep on pushing through because now they have 6 straight wins, and you can't tell them nothing. We are going Denver here. I may start Russell Westbrook and Jordy Nelson in this game for some odd reason, right? Because I got them both in here. Over Lamar Jackson. And damn, that's crazy. I don't truly have a wide receiver or a person I would start. I would start Jordy Nelson over. I have Nico Collins. I have Keenan Allen and the guy from and AJ Brown. It's kind of hard to slip Jordy in there. Eesh. Now, speaking of slipping in there, we have Philly taking on Dallas. This game is probably going to be. I think this part, if I'm not mistaken, this is the Sun because they have two Monday night games. This is going to be a America's Sunday night game, and Philly came off of a bad loss to San Francisco. Dallas had their way with who did they play? Who did Dallas play last week? I don't got it written down. Wait, is that it? Is that it? Is that it? Washington? No, I feel like Washington was a couple weeks ago. What did Dallas play last week? Seattle. There we go. Dallas had their way with Seattle last week. Finally being the first 500 team that they beat. Right, above 500 team that they beat. So much so that with that loss, it actually pushed the Seattle down to actually 500. I'm gonna look for Philly to come back motivated and to show that, you know what, San Francisco beat us, but we gonna beat up on you, Dallas. Basically, all of their rage and all of their frustration, right, all of their frustration, is gonna be taken out on the Cowboys. I am going Philly over Dallas on this. So I got Miami over Tennessee. I don't need to say much about that. And just because New York sucks, I got Green Bay. I didn't mean to rush through those last three picks. Let's back that up a little bit, right? As I gave you all the reasons why Philly's going to beat Dallas, I look for them to have a bounce back game. Losing to San Francisco last week was a little bit embarrassing. Now I look for them to lock in and really show them that okay, if you guys are deeming San Francisco number one, we're gonna at least show you guys that we are a bona fide number two, or we coming back for our number one spot. I think they have another game coming up in a couple another matchup in a couple of weeks so that they can rehash and really see who's going to be the winner of this. But San Francisco always said if we had our squad and had our quarterback, that we would whoop that ass, and they whooped that ass thoroughly. So to keep it thorough, Miami's going to end up taking on the Tennessee Titans, and we see the Miami Dolphins having another one of those 40-point burgers to a 20. Let's call this 45-23. I see this being another blowout for the Miami Dolphins as they continue to be the darlings of the AFC East. Yeah, they continue to be the darlings of the NFC as the in the AFC East, and continue to make waves. Tyreek Hill on pace to break 2,000 yards in a season. Tua Tagovailoa, he's looking like he may be able to survive a whole entire season for once. So we will see this continues to blow and continues to develop. But right now we have Miami over Tennessee, and like I said, just because the New York Giants just completely suck every which way, up, down, left, right, you name it, they can't get right. But we are going to take Green Bay over New York Giants for one big slap in the face on how just dysfunctional New York Giants are and can be. Not gonna lie, I think I'm about ready for my bed. But you know what? Cut the music for me. I had one last segment for you guys, right? And I just may have to give you this on Monday, but it makes me wonder if Zach should be on my players in the NFL that I don't like list. Because we already got the NBA here. We got about 10 good, solid names. Let's sleep on this for the weekend. We'll be back on Mondays at Sharkies. And let's see if, because Zion is fat. You see these comments? Yeah, I wanted Knicks to draft Halliburton. Knicks should have drafted Halliburton. Tyrese is already on a higher trajectory than CP3. That is facts. I would let's see. Zion is fat and they can't stop Soto. Yeah. Listen. We talked. We covered them all. New York and Soto. New York Jets with their quarterback issues. Zion Williamson being fat. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys being here with me this late at night. I think we're about to call this a wrap. Monday we'll be back. We'll be back at Sharkies on Monday. When we come back on Monday, we're gonna run down a list of players in the NBA that I currently don't like and I dislike. It's funny because if I had the other drunk uncles here, I would actually have them guess players to see if they can get this right. And I guarantee you that they'll probably off the rip mention three names and get two of them right. And I already know one of the names that they'll mention, and I don't like him. I just always knew his game was fugazi. I was never in oohs and ahs about him. But you know what though? It's time for me to get my oohs and ahs on all my capital Z's and lowercase Z's on. All right, we about to call this podcast a wrap. And I want to appreciate you guys for listening, regardless of however you may have been listening today. Whether that was on Podbean, you was on Spotify, Pandora, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, however you listen to the real, or if you caught it live, looking at the behind the scenes cam on Instagram or watching on Facebook or Twitter, X, Twitch. Appreciate that as well. Don't you guys forget that the phone lines are always open if you guys ever want to call. But we did see your comments though. We do appreciate all of the interactions. I want to thank you guys for listening again. All right, hope you guys stay blessed, no stress, and continue to stay my T. Sorry, B. I tried. Honest. All the bandwidth in the world couldn't keep me contained. No lag, no lag. Gonna share my talents with Podbean Live. Always knew I'd take the pod there. Just a lot later than a lot of listeners thought. Last of the real gabbers. Well, maybe not the last. Munchkin got good mic skills. New, improved MyT podcaster. Potting down now. Last call for drinks. Bars closing. Sun's out. Heard the casino got a buffet breakfast. Don't want to go far. Wild night. Tired, B. Tired. My tea.